Okay, is that working? Shit takes so long to fucking figure out. Anyways, so right now I'm making Second Life products um, for content. I do coding, meshing, all that shit. And so I made this cafe, and this is kind of the way it happened. Someone had posted on Reddit. I usually make guns and swords and things of that manner, and someone had posted, "Hey, gayest post I ever saw, by the way, because, hey, does anyone make a full cooking system so I can make a yummy meal for someone?" And I went, oh, ugh. But anyways, I thought, with the amount, like, this Reddit blew up, man. There were so many people pointing out these old crappy systems, but when I saw such a flock to it, I was like, this I can do this. What do you mean? If swords and guns aren't selling, then let's make a grill. So I made this grill, and I started selling it. It started selling really well, and you can move the foods around. You can cook different temperatures. They can slide off the grill as they turn. They turn colors. Um, when you right now, the process I'm working on is when you remove them from the grill, they res on this plate. So the idea would be that you could add some things to the grill, then cook them. And then this is how it started. And then they would, I don't know, you would pretend from there. But then I made it more like a game where you could like slide them off the grill. If you cook them too much, they burn up. So then I came up with this menu system where people could make an order, and then the cook would make the meal. And then when you get done with the food, it rests on the plate. Oh. And when they click it, it attaches a fork, which I don't have that part installed yet, but I have that in a lot of my stuff. It will attach a fork to your avatar with food on it. It makes it look like you ate it. And eventually, after so much, it disappears. Um, so that's the, the new direction I'm going in. At first, it was just this grill. You can change the colors, the doors open, and you could res those foods and flip them around. They might fall off or what have you. And the response was great. I mean, I made tons of sales out. It was the first thing I ever made that like the ads actually were paid for, and I made profits. So then it led me to start making more and more food stuff. Because here's the reality: if the weapons aren't gonna make it, um, I'm not making dicks. I'm not making clothing and I'm not making penises. And so I started making this stuff, and like I do all my own animation systems. I don't use that AV sitter or whatever the hell that is. I make everything. I've been doing this 20 years. I know how to make all this shit. So then, like, you can like make sandwiches for people. I just started coming up with more and more, little things that you can play around with. Um, it's pretty easy, and it's been good. It's been a wholesome thing. And then you can like, if someone attaches um, be a sandwich, and then eat sandwich. So I've gone through all these different things, and I made this whole Asian sushi room. I found some really cool sushi kits that were relatively cheap, and I was like, oh, easy enough. Um, so we started making stuff like this that was it attaches the chopsticks to you, and you basically look like you eat it. Is what it is. Nothing too spectacular here, but in Second Life, for some people, that's fucking amazing. What they're typically used to is just static things that sit there that they click and like says something, which is just ridiculous, isn't it? If you're craving reality and that's why you came here, your life sucks so much, so that's what you gotta do. I make like sake, and anyways, all this one's kind of cool. It's got like 50 different sayings it says when you do a shot, and it all feeds this HUD. And I give the HUD away. And this HUD has like how much food you ate. That's the last thing I ate, so it knew the sushi I ate. So it will list, points if you're a cook. Like if you're a cook, you'll get XP points. If you're an eater, you get digestion points. And then those points lead to free gifts and shit like that. Nothing big here. Think of it like the fishing game that was real popular, except it's a food game. And then I built this little cafe, which is just a mirror box. I'm just really good with small spaces. I made all textured like these. I found blank, no textures, whatever. I textured it all up, made all these weird new. This attached, chopsticks to you as well. This has all kinds of weird little sushi plates and platters. So everything's interactive and everything works. Like so, they're not used to that. Normally, in Second Life, you just look at something, or if it does play an animation, it's not right. It's totally not right, or it's really hokey. Um, I like to make things, that have some sort of. I put myself an eye on that one. That is the hardest thing. Is all these different heads and bodies getting shit to line up, and that's another problem with pre-attachable things. If you have something that you attach yourself, you can like put it into a certain order where it looks like it lines up with your mouth. When something just attaches automatically, it goes by the last attachment point that it was in when it was made and put in there. And so, got to, oh, that's not moving. Um, Anyways, I get lost on what I'm saying with this shit. So that's where I'm at, making this food stuff because the guns and the swords ain't selling. And a lot of my work I do is people hire me to do scripting for them. They'll be like, oh, here's 200 PayPal bucks, make it do this. And then, you do that. And sometimes that works out well. But at the moment, I have a disability that puts me out of the working world, and I'm able to make enough money to pay the bills just making and selling this. And I don't have to play with penises. All those people that just make all that sexual shit, good for you, but that must get old all day. Um, I started making Roblox games. I made like this whole game. It's Quake slash TFC with Steal the Flag, an environment, first person shooter, jump pads, effects, and then the pedo thing. And I was like, ah, I've always stayed away from Roblox because it was a kids game thing and I didn't want to make fucking kids games. But then when they started adding the first person shooter maps and more of a 18-year-old player thing, I thought, oh great, it's got 80,000 people a month logging into it. I'll make some games, man, some first person shooters. And then that stuff came out right when I finished. I even made like a website with a leaderboard link to it, everything. It's still there. You can look it up. It's called the Dark NSL. It's a full game. But to get a game like that going, you gotta do like a 12-hour Twitch or Kick campaign where you put out the link and you challenge people to get them to come in unless you want to pay for marketing, which I don't want to pay for marketing. So I was just trying to like grassroot it. But as soon as that pedo shit came out, I just don't want to do that, man. I don't, I know they still have 80 million players, but I don't want to look like I'm making pedo games. That's like the guy that goes, oh, I'm going on holiday. Where are you going? And they're like, the Thailand. You're like, oh, you're going on that kind of vacation, huh? That's just the way people look at it. So I already deal with enough weird shit in Second Life and that and these platforms. So the whole Roblox thing's got me. I don't know what to do with it. The game exists, the website exists, but do I have the gumption to sit there for hours and go, "Hey, wanna play on Roblox with me?" I even turned the mic ability up. I was like, I don't want, because I was like, you know what? This game's got violence in it. They'll probably rate it for older. They rated it for fucking 5 years old and up. You have to understand. I hate children. I'm sorry. I hate you guys. Last thing I want to do is fuck one of you or play games with one of you. I I'm just not that guy. Um, sorry. But anyways, um, it's such a conundrum. I had such high hopes with that because of their 80 million a month player numbers. I thought for sure I can make a few superstar games and make some money on that because this is dying. This is totally dying. This is coming down to maybe, I would say, in all honesty, 20,000 a month are actually playing, and there's an in and out of another 5,000. So maybe 25,000 a month, and that takes the sales down low. Right now, it's a struggle to make enough money in this to pay the bills. If it gets much worse, it won't be. And I'm in a position where I usually sell food on apps like Uber and stuff from a dark kitchen. But then I fell down some stairs and broke my knee, and it's permanent damage because of my age and what happened. And now I can't stand the 10 hours a day you need to run a dark kitchen and sell barbecue. It's a lot of labor intensive shit in that I just can't do. So I went back to doing coding, and at first I worked with some pretty large Second Life creators doing scripting for them, but at the end of the day, they just give me a couple $100 on PayPal and then walk away making thousands. As you bring to life their creations, and then they need an update, and blah blah blah. So it's kind of a dog eat dog thing, but that's where I am trying to perfect doing this streaming. Why I do this, I have no idea why. Just everybody's like, you should stream while you do it. Maybe that'll help. I have no clue. Um, a lot of this is outdated and pretty lame. Like, you can't get me to leave my little environments that I make. I don't go off in world and explore anymore. It's just weird sexual people with it. Here's the weird thing though. I met my wife, my real wife, in Second Life, but she was a live singer, so I knew it was girl. Sure sounded like one, but we got married and the whole nine yards. Met exclusively in Second Life. It was like the last time I used to go places. I go see live music, um, and then go back to building stuff. And then there used to be a lot of like weapons combat sims, so I had plenty of swords and gun builds to make and make money off of. But like I said, that's dried up lately. Now it's very adult, and what is not adult is example. If people try to pay me to work on adult stuff, there is a penis tax. All right. If you're gonna make me work on some HUD for your wiener or whatever, there's a tax on that. There's a different price between that and a toasty maker. I also made a hamburger game, which is pretty cool, where people can order a hamburger, and then you have to cook it, and then the menu knows if you cooked it correctly, and things can easily go off the grill, and you have to start over, and they order here, and like this random order comes up, and if you win enough, you get on the leaderboard. And I sell this system, and this sells really well too, because it's something to do. Um, it's I don't know. There's people that just make stuff that just are useless. I don't get it. People are really in Second Life are lucky to get the shit I make, because the rest of it just doesn't do it. Like, you want to cook some kebabs? Check it out, man. You cook some kebabs? You want some lamb? How about that beef? Flip them. Oh, it's gonna fall off the grill. Oh, can you save it? No. Oh, well. So anyways, I make things very gameable. Usually they'll fall off. I've never seen one make it that long before, but I think the center of it is when it senses it's off the grill. If you go off enough, it shouldn't just keep going. Yeah. Anyways, that kebab fell off the grill. But we make all kinds of interactive crap. I make. I'm sounding like fucking Donald Trump talking in third person. Which, by the way, I left America in 2016, and that son of a bitch is like affecting everything, even over here. The ripple wave effects are just unbelievable. Anyways, that's the end of this live. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, something so I can grow this and figure this out.